So, what is a nation, and what is its relation to this idea of imagined communities? In order to fully grasp the idea of both these concepts, we must look into the writings of the Irish academic Benedict Anderson, a professor of international relations at Cornell University. In his book, Imagined Communities, Anderson defined a nation as a social group existing within a state, and examined how they were created through a shared history or language. For example, while Australia is one of the most ethnically diverse countries in the world, its national language is English. Despite all the different ethnic groups in Australia, and wherever they live within the country, whether the East Coast, the Red Centre, or the West Coast, they will likely all identify as Australian. This confused Benedict Anderson, as while most people think of themselves as connected under the national banner, they will likely never meet everyone else in their nation. Anderson himself said, "The members of even the smallest nation will never know most of their fellow members, meet them, or even hear of them, yet in the minds of each lives the image of their communion." For example, it would be impossible for me to leave university now and meet every single current Australian citizen. It's theoretically impossible. This led Anderson to declare that this sense of national identity was an imagined social construct, and led him to denounce the existence of national identity. So, how was this false identity created? Anderson believes this forged identity has been encouraged by the development of the printing press, leading to books and pamphlets being printed in locally common spoken languages. Anderson argues that by consuming the same media, many people identified or believed that they had common bonds with other people. So for Anderson, the modern age of nationalism began in Western Europe in the 18th centuries with the invention of print capitalism. While a more original example of the spread of the same media might be newspapers, such as the Herald Sun, originally called the Port Phillip Herald, which started in 1840, just 5 years after Melbourne's establishing as a city, holding an almost sole source of news for people in the colony. A more modern example might be something such as television. Events like the Anzac Day parades around Australia, for example, are televised all around Australia on a day where we pay respect to our past and present service men and women and commemorate the history of fighting of Australian troops, particularly in the First World War at Gallipoli in Turkey. On a more global scale, one can think of the Olympic Games, which is effectively a world media event on an almost unmatchable scale. In the United States, each day of competition of the Rio Olympic Games attracted around 27.5 million viewers on average, and an expected 3.5 billion people watched the Games in total, indicating the scale and reach of the medium of television. In conclusion, we can see that perhaps the strong bond of patriotism and nationalism that some people see to their country might not be particularly well founded. While we may know and connect with immediate neighbours, friends or family, maybe seeing and believing that we share a bond with the other people of our nationality may not be so logically justifiable.